This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey everyone, thank you once again for tuning in to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with my son, Anthony Ray. Welcome to the show. We got a really great show lined up for you today, and geez, it's been quite a ride, doing this one, huh, Ant? We finally got to the point of actually doing it.
Yeah, well, if you guys only knew for some reason what we went through to get the show rolling today, some technical difficulties, basically. Our guest today is a very good friend of ours, fellow groomer, Erica Salvemini, and the patience that she showed this morning when we were trying to get everything set up to actually start the show. Her patience is astounding. So in advance of the entire show, very, very special thanks to Erica Salvemini for being one of us and laughing it all off while me, my dad, and our producer, really just knocked our heads against the wall for about an hour trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Believe it or not, I mean, was I a little tech savvy on that right now? Did I come up big, or I mean, I put my earbuds in?
I wouldn't say you came up big. I say you came up average height, average level. You were.
Big.
Here's what you did that was big today. It wasn't your fault. That's what was big, I think. It wasn't all the problems we were having weren't coming from you.
Right. Well,
so that's pretty huge. So actually, I guess you did come up big.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, that is big because on every level, there has to be some kind of fault.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And here I have a direct quote from our producer when we were having trouble at the beginning. Mark said, "Wow, Rudy, for once, your mic's not the one that sounds bad. It's Anthony's fault this time."
I started clapping on that, man.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm going to grab myself a Diet Snapple right now. That was awesome. My mic was working.
Yes. It was a little upsetting for me. I was kind of losing my patience. But we got it together finally. And thank God, because we almost, if we hadn't got it fixed, we would have to reschedule. And I don't want to reschedule Erica. Erica's awesome. She's sitting there waiting for us while we're fumbling around.
We're going to bring her on in a minute or so. But credit to Mark. My God. Yeah. Like, listen, Mark's older than me. And he's like, he's so tech savvy. It's like, what did I do wrong? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I partied too much or something. But
back in the day. I don't know. Me and you bother Mark for stuff that doesn't even have to do with the show sometimes. I've emailed Mark and said, "Hey, dude, my DVD player, it's supposed to be in surround sound." And Mark's such a nice guy. You email me back. You're like, "I don't know, but try." He'll always offer a solution. Try this, try that.
Right. Hold on. I'm editing a show right now. I'll call you in a minute. Like Mark is our new therapist.
Yeah, he really is. We must drive him crazy. Poor Mark. Yeah. Mark, like you just said, Mark will email me, "Listen, I'm working right now, but I'll email you back later." But Mark, I want to watch King of Queens on DVD.
When I was checking out your car the other day, I was literally thinking, you know what? Mark would probably know if this time is not what you want. Hey, Ann, let's give Mark a call, see if we can get him on Skype and take a picture of the engine. He'll probably figure it out.
He knows a little bit about everything, I guess.
He knows he knows a lot about everything.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, we're very, very happy that we finally got it all together. Thanks to Mark, actually. Thanks to Mark's genius and Erica's patience. Here we are. We're finally getting it going. We have a great show for you guys today. Erica is here. Erica Salvemini. We met her at the World Dog Expo back in June, and we've been waiting to have her on the show for a while now. She has some very fascinating stuff to tell you guys. She is a fellow groomer, so we're going to be talking a little bit about where the pet industry is today, what we can do as groomers and pet owners to help it along and change it for the better. And we even are going to get into some very, very cool stuff, some spiritual stuff, actually, that is some very fascinating things that Erica knows and is going to be talking to us about. So all of that and more coming up on this episode of Groomer Humor right after this, guys.
Put on a perfectly pawsome pet party. Having an awesome birthday or adoption day celebration for your four-legged friend? Or just want a fun excuse to throw a fun party with your friends from the dog park? Deck out your party with Molly and Bandit Pet Party accessories. Party products designed specifically for pets. There are wearables, including adjustable pet party hats, bow ties, and tutus. The photo prop kits include funny glasses and hats. The party supplies and decorations include coordinating table covers, party banners, cake decorations, and treat bowls, cups, and bags. Everything you need to create great memories and Instagram-worthy photos. They're available in 2 colorful themes, tropical and fireman. It's a dog's life. Celebrate it with Molly and Bandit Pet Party at mollyandbanditpetparty.com/petlife.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor. Once again, we are your hosts. I am Rudy V, along with my son, Anthony Ray. Okay, guys, as we mentioned, with us today is our friend and fellow dog groomer, Erica Salvemini, owner and founder of Just 4 Paws Pet Spa and Academy, located in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Thanks so much for being with us today, Erica.
Thanks, guys. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. We last spoke, was at World Dog Expo back in June. We talked a bit about, the current state and the future of the dog grooming industry. And as we all know, currently, we don't need to be licensed. We don't need to be properly trained. We don't even need to really be certified to become a dog groomer. So what do you think we can do to help this ongoing issue, Erica?
Well, I think, when we had met and spoke during the Dog Expo, we both talked about the training, how necessary that is. I think that's a huge part of the problem. But I think it's also systemic in the way businesses are run. It's such a broad problem that runs the gamut, where on a micro level in the grooming shops, the little grooming shops themselves, and then also at a macro level where the government should kind of step in at some point, and there should be some form of regulation, some accountability on the parts of these businesses. The big businesses, we don't need to name names, right? They're
right.
Probably they should be most accountable, frankly,
Sure.
But yet they are the least accountable. And I know that firsthand just by having more employees come and work for me. And it's hard to train out of them the stuff the bad behavior that goes on there, so.
Right.
I think it's everything from starting at the local level with people like shops that like you and I have, and training and the beliefs, the philosophies that we instill in our shops, and so we make sure that we only hire the right people who have their heart and their intentions in the right place, and how they want to work with animals and why they want to work with animals, and we have to on a daily basis make sure that they are in fact doing the right thing, even when
Right.
looking. And that's hard for us too, because, we're grooming, but we're also running businesses, and, we're trying to do the right thing, at least you hope, right? And
Right.
It's hard to keep it all straight. So I know I'm going off on a tangent.
No. That's a really good point. That leads me to my next question, because we all talk a lot, especially us professional dog groomers. And I stress professional because there are different levels of the so-called dog groomer. And that's the whole point of this. But we all talk a lot about the safety of the pet and the customer, which is the primary concern. But let's talk a little bit about what you just said, the shop owner. Where does the liability lie? For example, say a pet owner drops off a dog with a pre-existing condition, a heart condition, a severe skin condition, and they either don't know about it or they fail to inform the shop owner, the longtime shop owner like myself. Should dog groomers have release forms just like vets, doctors, dentists, or anyone else that might be working on a living thing? Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I've been in this business now just about 15 years, and I only just put a proper pet release form in place over the last year.
Us too.
And ran it through my lawyer and everything. And
Exactly.
2 pages, and it covers everything having to do with, exactly what you mentioned, people bringing their pets in with pre-existing conditions, whether they know about it or don't know about it, the action that we will take, but, we're not liable for X, Y, and Z. And, we address temperament issues of the pet. co-condition of the pet and where problems can come into play during a grooming, where we will have to make certain decisions because we do not do any inhumane dematting. And too bad if you want Fluffy to look fabulous, even though you've been a negligent here. Guess what? You're going to pay for it, because unfortunately, the only thing that seems to make a difference for some of these people is their pocket. They claim all the love in the world for their pet, but then when it comes down to it, they're ready to go for your jugular if you do not give them the proper haircut that they demand for their pet. But where's the love there, right?
Exactly. That's why we love having you on. We love talking to fellow dog groomers, especially dog groomers like ourselves that are serious about the industry. We're not in this just about the money. We're in it long term. I know, you've been in 15 years. I've been in myself over 33 years. So I hate to see a long-time shop owner who is really doing this for the right reasons be sued by one mistake or one incident that may be out of their hands and end of their shop, while other fly-by-night groomers are remaining open and doing shoddy work.
Yeah, and habitually doing bad things and no-nos, and they get away with it. And who knows why these things happen, right? And who knows why people do what they do. But we definitely need to cover our butts. And I hold myself and all of my employees accountable every single day. When our pets walk in the door, we have taken an oath to make sure that we're the pet guardian for that pet while they're with us. And so we, expect, the same kind of reciprocal respect on the other end from the pet parents. And now that we ask them to sign this form, which should be something that should definitely be offered to all grooming business owners. And if they don't know about it, they should know about it, because it does protect them from people because let's face it, we know about the wacky people that are out there and that come into our shops, and they don't care that we're there doing the right thing and want to do the right thing. And the more they see that, the more they want to do harm. And they're the ones that want to write bad reviews. They just have an axe to grind with the world. And today it happens to be your day.
Right. Yeah.
That was very well said.
Exactly.
Well put.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about that in future shows. But let's talk a little bit about your school here, Erica, and the type of people that are getting into the dog grooming industry. For example, when I was coming up, or even to this day, you have a lot of like midlifers, and I know yourself, who may have been trying to get out of the corporate world and doing this. Would you like to see more young people choosing this as a career, long life career, like maybe right out of high school? Would you like to see something like that?
I would. I think that's a beautiful way to go about it, especially because, for so many reasons. There are people who don't necessarily, belong on the path to college, at least maybe not right away. And, who says, why? Because your parents say, because the norm says, because, the TV tells you, and, it's just not for everybody. And if you love animals, and maybe you're not going to go to school all those years to become a veterinarian, but you're maybe creative with your hands and you just love animals, well, why not? They should. So we actually went to a career day fair at one of the schools, the high school here in town. And I'm going to start reaching out to more high schools for career days to go and do that and try to promote this, because you should see the way these kids' faces light up when they see us there, and they see us with our, giant life-size dog on the table and a harness, and they all come running over and they want to talk about it. And they want to talk about their pets and how much they love it. So yeah, I think it should be, not just dog grooming, but other types of avenues for these kids to get into where it's creative for them. It's somewhere where their passion can take them to a beautiful life career path, So yeah, I think there should be more of that.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Erica, because I, at a very young age, since I sort of grew up in my father's grooming shop, I was very fascinated, like you just mentioned, at the whole process and just, how it worked and the dogs. I was fascinated by it and I loved it and I loved being around it. And maybe it could be nowadays I feel the way I do about grooming because at such a young age I was introduced to it and got to see everything that went into it. And it was amazing to me. So definitely I agree with what you said there.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think there should be more available to kids today. So who knows, maybe we can start working on that.
Erica, would you like to see more dog grooming schools like yours opening up to help teach people? Would you like to see more of that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a need. We kind of flip-flopped in that grooming schools are now all about, doing everything online. Online is great. You can do a lot of stuff online, but how do you do online, hands-on training? It's an impossibility to replace that. So, getting back to what's essential and, getting people in the schools, hands-on training with the animals, touching them, feeling them, working with them, feeling their energy. That's the kind of stuff that makes up who we are and what we do at our salon. So, I'm not trying to make a plug for us. So I happen to personally like what we do. I absolutely think that there should be more of it, where philosophically, we believe that animals are sentient beings and they can feel and think just like we can. Maybe not the same capacity level of thinking, but they certainly can rationalize things, and they can feel heartbreak, and they feel fear and love just about as strong as any human I've ever met, if not more so. So that's kind of what we do.
I couldn't agree with you more on that, Erica. And one of the things that stood out when I had the liberty of interviewing you at the World Dog Expo, one of the things that really stood out that you said was, when we do have a dog on the table and we are having that hands-on and that intimate relationship with them, is we are actually asking them permission to allow us to groom them. That always stood out in my mind, and I'll never forget that you said that. And I'm very inspired by people like you, and I give you so much credit for taking on the challenge of having a dog grooming school and training people, because it's a very difficult thing. But with people like you, I think that the grooming industry will be ensured that it produces finally higher levels of people working on dogs. But I want to talk more about that, because we know that you are also a master level certified Reiki practitioner. We're going to go to break. But when we come back, we want to talk more about that and how you use that in your academy. So all that and much, much more on Groomer Humor when we return.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. I am Anthony Ray, hanging out today with not only my dad, Rudy V, but also our very special guest, Erica Salvemini from Just for Paws Pet Spa and Academy. Now, my father and I have mentioned countless times on the show that the pet industry, the grooming industry, it has many layers and levels. There's a lot to it. And one huge layer is spirituality, and we're big believers in that. So pretty special treat. Erica, as my dad mentioned before the break, happens to be a master level certified Reiki practitioner. Erica, can you tell everybody a little bit about what that is and how you use it in your academy?
Sure, absolutely. And thank you for asking about it. It is starting to become more popular now, which I'm so thrilled to see. It is a healing modality, a gentle healing modality. And it's a nice way for us to give, healing back to the animal community. I also, practice on helping humans, but in the work that we do with all the animals, it just started to become more apparent that maybe this is something that I needed to do. It's basically energy work. So everything that we are made up of, the entire universe, everything, we're all energy. And Reiki is a way to harness that energy, bring it down, and anybody can do this. You guys can do it. My kids can do it. Friends can do it for one another. But, when you go through the training, you receive attunements, which increases your level and ability to harness energy and do different things with that energy to help balance the being, whether it's a person you're working on or a pet you're working on, but that's what that is. So I started to do it back in, I want to say, the early 2000s, 2002, 2003, because I wanted to start a family. And I wanted to heal myself. I was having trouble conceiving for a while. And so I learned a lot of different other alternative healing methods, working with your chakras, working with crystals, all sorts of things. So in doing that, fast forward, not taking up too much time on the subject, but it did become important to me to start working with animals in a way that helped me communicate with them. And I just found that, this was a perfect fit. Doing Reiki with these animals, I'm basically asking them to trust me and be as vulnerable as they possibly can be during a grooming session. So some of them aren't able to handle that. Obviously, right. As we know, you talk about pets that were adopted. You don't know what kind of background, history, baggage they may be carrying. And they carry just as much as we do. In fact, there's more, because pets, their kindness and their love, what they do for us is they take on our energy, the negative stuff, the crap that bogs us down. They come into our lives to help us, to help our children. Oftentimes in families where there are problems and issues, the animals are there first and foremost. They take it on, and they have to carry that around too, right? So at our shop, so you don't know what's going on with them. They can't tell us in the way that people can talk to us and communicate with us. We can only be there to offer them comfort and a nice day at the spa, hopefully. And unfortunately, some of them, they just can't handle it because for one reason or another, they've got anxiety disorders. They might have been abused. Maybe they just, whatever, they're having a bad day. But because I'm able to do Reiki, I can, just kind of instill a sense of calmness with them, just immediately right off the bat. And I can easier sense when something is off with a pet, especially if I know them already, then I've got that baseline to work from. I mean, most people should be able to tell, if you know a pet, you work with them for a while, you get to know what their regular demeanor is like. Sure. But with the Reiki, I've got that extra leg up. So I can also train and teach this at the academy to students who want to learn it. I also do healing work with many of my pet parents, because just through working with them over the years, they've become friendly. They've become like members of the family, extended members of our Just for Paws family. And they often have, told me of things that are happening with them, whether it's a health problem or somebody is sick in the family, and I've sent them long distance Reiki, and I could tell you some stories that would probably make your hair stand up. Like, holy cow, did that really happen? Yeah. It boggles my mind, actually. A dog that was supposed to have its tail amputated but didn't, because I did some Reiki on it, and between myself and the dog's mom believing enough, that faith and the Reiki, I'm telling you, the dog's tumor went away. The 3 veterinarians were like, I can't explain it. I don't know what to tell you. Go see somebody else and get more. Like, no, I'm not going to. My dog's fine. Goodbye. The end. Thank you very much. And little Tabitha still has her leg attached to her body. And there's numbers of others that we have, fabulous, great little miracle stories that happen at my shop, but they happen all over the world every day, which is a beautiful thing. We just have to open our eyes and our hearts to it and realize that this happens every day. And we do these wonderful, beautiful things for these pets that we are given the privilege and honor to work with on a daily basis. And I do feel like that, because it's amazing when I leave at the end of the day. And yeah, some of those days are really, really hard, mostly working with the customer service end, not the animals. The animals, you can shake it off, even if they've all been hard to deal with that day, because that they just couldn't help it. And they tried to do their best, and they really did. And that's enough. And so I want to do whatever I can to help change this industry and make it more in the wellness direction, where it's, the unmedicated path to wellness for our pets and for us as, people who love their pets, all of that, all encompassing,
Yep. Yeah. I find so fascinating about all of that is here we are, it's 2018. And a lot of times when people talk about the pet industry or the grooming industry itself, the conversation tends to lean toward what's wrong with it. And just hearing your passion talking about Reiki, we've gone from things that are wrong with it. And then you're talking about this beautiful thing of healing and harnessing energy and chakras and trust and communication. And just this whole Reiki thing that you're telling us about and telling our listeners about is a huge step forward for the industry itself. And I think a lot of people are learning about it, whether through you or just researching it themselves. I think it's a great step in the right direction, because there is the pet industry as a whole. It is very spiritual between pet and pet owner. There's a huge bond there, obviously, from people who who love their pets and the energies that animals unload onto us too. Not, that we're not always just throwing our stuff at them. Like, they have feelings too that we can pick up on and feel.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to add to that, and also is that, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Erica, is that as dog groomers, when we get a dog, especially a new client, a dog we're meeting for the first time, we have to be able to tap into that, like almost instantaneously, where this is something that would take anyone else a lot of time. So we have to be able to try at least to make an instant connection with the dog. And it's very, very difficult because there is trust issues there. So I think, again, with what Erica's saying with the Reiki, with just being more aware, more conscious, it helps us to achieve that a little bit better, maybe a little quicker and a little bit more efficiently, as far as being able to say a dog gets dropped off that day, like we have to tap into that. We have to groom this dog. There's a lot that we have to go through just to put a pair of clippers or scissors on a dog. Oh, yeah. So I really couldn't agree with you more with this, Erica. I think in dog grooming, especially, it's like absolutely necessary that we tap into energies like that. And I think Reiki is just a great way to do it. So I want to learn more about it. Even prior to interviewing you today or having you on the show today, I was like fascinated because I went online, I punched up Reiki, and I tried to learn as much as I could about it. But I would love to learn more through you. And like Anthony said, we have to come visit you at your school.
I would love that. I would love that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm putting together a Reiki 1 workshop probably over the next several months. I've got like 5 of the women that work for me and a sister of one of them. They've been bugging me for a while. Please, let's do a class, because you can learn Reiki 1 in, a Sunday afternoon. Like that's all you need. And we can just do a workshop. So I'll keep you guys posted too and let you know.
Thank you.
We're looking for a bigger facility for our wellness center so that we have a nice big studio space that's designed just for these kinds of classes and stuff for the friends and the people who love their animals. And so there's some of that for us too, because why not? Right?
Absolutely.
Just tap into that and make it better for all of us and for our friends. And you're right. Like, why are we bashing our heads against the wall? We don't need to. We could just the boundaries and the facades and then just get right to the genuine, sincere intentions of why we are both there together with the pet and the parent. And, it's like we're a team. And through that, in that, we all have the same end goal, which is to make our pets happy and give them love back and share that together. So it's all beautiful, man.
Peace, love, and happiness.
Man.
The only thing we're missing right now is like a Volkswagen Beetle right now driving down the shore.
Yep. A flower on it.
Flower power, exactly.
No, it's so true. And again, like we couldn't agree more. We're so thankful that you came on the show, Erica. And I think, like as we mentioned before, this is where dog grooming, not just dog grooming, but the pet industry, I think this is the turn it needs to take. And we need to like kind of just full force travel down this road and do it together. I think just dog groomers, anyone, dog pet sitters, rescue workers.
Pet care industry, right? Because we'll do it together.
Yeah, we need to band together just like we did at World Dog Expo. I mean, that was just amazing just to feel that unity in that room with, a couple thousand or more plus people with the dogs. It's indescribable, the energy that was in that room and the bond between people and the dogs that day was just, we're still vibing off of it.
You absolutely could. Yeah. You could legitimately feel the buzz of that energy going through you. And you guys must have felt it even more because there you were doing the interviews, going around meeting everybody. And as soon as you start to ignite just a little bit of that passion in somebody, I know because you did it with me. It's just gotta be, and then, you're sharing that and you're getting it and you're taking it in and you're sharing it all together. And it's so cool and awesome. So psyched that we got to meet and do that all together.
Oh, thank you, Erica. That means a lot. And you're right. It felt amazing to walk around and meet people like yourself and so many others who have that passion. And if there is one good thing about technology and social media today, it's that everybody has a message, and yeah, there's keyboard warriors and there's people out there just looking to, get mad at somebody. But there's, on the flip side of that, there are thousands and thousands and millions of people out there trying to pass a good message and trying to do good for whatever their cause may be. Our cause happens to be pets and love. So it really would, because at World Dog Expo, there were so many rescue organizations and just all that kind of stuff. So it was so heartwarming to see that, for as much cruelty that happens to animals around the world, there's also a lot of good and a lot of people standing up for it who don't want it to happen anymore. And you're one of them, Erica. You're finding an outlet through Reiki, through this healing and this energy to just help pet owners and pets themselves. And it's really beautiful. And I think this is going to be a road we travel down. And one day people are going to be going, remember before everybody knew about Reiki? That was crazy.
Right.
I can't believe people never knew that stuff before. And that's where the whole industry is heading.
I think you're right. And I can't wait.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, I'm glad to be on board. And
absolutely. And we're definitely going to be trying to get down to your spa, because I want to see it, and we love to see you again in person, and and just keep learning about all this stuff.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
So, Erica, thanks so much for coming on, first of all. Where can people find you, like a website or Facebook or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. We're Just for Paws, Pet Spa, Salon, Pet Spa, and Academy. And you can find us at 649 Ridge Road in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And our number is 201-460-1900. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And you can find us on Google, Yelp, all of that. We'd love to hear from anybody who's interested in the pet. If you need your pet groomed in a nice, calm, soothing, comforting environment, give us a call, give us a shout out, because that's our specialty. We take most of the pets that other people don't want to deal with, the ones that have a lot of anxiety or they're old and sickly and they really, really need that extra TLC. And then we also just started the Academy, as you guys know, and we're trying to teach a different way, more towards the future, more towards wellness. So there's options out there for everybody, but if what we're saying resonates with you, then you probably should check us out. If you want a job working with us, we have intern programs that we're running now, trying to let people who aren't really sure if this is what they want to do, but maybe they want to try it out. Maybe on their day off, they could, come in and intern with us on Saturdays as either a receptionist, which is really more of a client services rep position. And we treat our people like they are golden, because honestly, our employees are. I treat my staff the way I want to be treated, and that transcends down to the pets, and then that transcends down to the clients. And we charge a little bit more because we pay our employees a little bit more, but that's because they're completely skilled at what they do and they're impassioned in what they do. So that's a little bit of a spiel about who we are and the people that work for us. But everybody that's here is passionate and loves what they do. So that's irreplaceable.
That's great. Well, there you have it, guys. Definitely go and look them up. Just for Paws, Salon Academy. They're amazing. Very fascinating stuff. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us for a little bit, guys. Definitely a special thanks to our guest, Erica. Thank you so much for coming on, Erica. As always, we'd like to thank our producer, Mark Winter. Thank you so much, Mark. If you haven't done so already, head on over to our YouTube channel. It's called Grooming by Rudy. That's Grooming by Rudy on YouTube.com. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. You could also like Grooming by Rudy on Facebook. Follow Grooming by Rudy on Instagram and Twitter. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.